man, how good is this kid? And he's become the new rock star in this league, RG3. How sustainable are the Eagles from what you've seen so far, in your mind?
Oh, the Eagles are completely sustainable because they're built the right way. You know, I like to say that they're built like you would want your significant other to be. They're beautiful on the inside and out. Okay, the offensive line is the best in football. The defensive line is 8 deep. They control the line of scrimmage. And the best part about Jalen Hurts was he threw a pick six on the first drive of the game, and his response to that pick six speaks everything about his character and who he has become as a player. They didn't blink, right? They're down 14-0. They come back. He has the 4th and goal where he lowers his shoulder, which, of course, people will say, hey, he's a quarterback. You don't want him to do that. But in that moment, his team needed a spark, and he provided that spark. So last week it was the Commanders, and they said, hey, we're going to dare you to beat us throwing, and he did that. This week they said, hey, we're going to dare you guys to beat us running the football against the best run defense in the league. They did that. I just think that they're beyond impressive right now, and there's 2 guys that really, up until this week, had really been doing really well and kind of in the front of that MVP talk was Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. And both of them work with quarterback specialist Adam Dato out of California. And I think he's done a phenomenal job getting those guys consistent with their quarterback mechanics. Now, Lamar had a little bit of an off week with the 2 interceptions this week, but Jalen Hurts continues to ascend. And I think a lot of that has to do with that work they've been doing with Adam Dato.
For, I guess, tale of 4th and 1s, right, between Jalen Hurts and Lamar this week? You just mentioned one that went successfully for Jalen and then one that did not for Lamar, who had 2 wide open receivers on that play that everybody's still talking about and is laying at the feet of the coach for calling and deciding to push that button against the Bills. What did you make of that play and that decision and how it's going to linger for the Ravens, RG3?
Yeah, I talked about the play first. Lamar said it. If he just executed the play, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He did have 2 guys wide open. He saw Duvernay late in the back of the end zone and tried to get it to him, and that's why it was intercepted. For me, if I was the coach in that situation, I would have took the points because it elongates the game, gives you an opportunity to have another crack at it if your defense goes out there and plays like a Raven and at a minimum holds them to a field goal, it extends the game. But having been there in that locker room for 3 years and being on the sideline for that 2019 viral moment when Coach asked Lamar if he wanted to go for it against Seattle, in Seattle, and he says, heck yeah. You know, he said something else, but, you know, we're on the airwaves. So I was on the sideline for that. And I know being in those meetings, Harbaugh always wants to end the game in regulation and be aggressive because he believes in the guys that are on the field. You got the best player in the game, and Lamar Jackson with the ball in his hand. They're not going to second-guess that, and I don't think that we should second-guess it just because their track record speaks for itself. They went for it on that 4th down in 2019. I think 3rd down or whatever it was on 2019. It was 4th down in the 3rd quarter, and Lamar ran an 8-yard touchdown. They went for it on 4th and 1 against the Chiefs last year in the regular season, and Lamar got the 1st down, game over. So it's kind of messed up for us to flip the switch on them now and say, hey, what's going on here? But I will say this. The Ravens have now lost 7 straight one-score games, and that's a problem because in the playoffs, you're going to have one-score games or close games. You have to find a way to win those. Right now, they got to scratch where it itches, just like the Bills did coming into that game. They had lost 7 straight one-score games dating back to last year. So they got to figure that out and know when to be aggressive and when not to, but I wouldn't think too hard on this one. I think Harbaugh did the right thing, trusting his guys.
I have Patrick Mahomes coming up shortly, Robert Griffin III. Is he playing the best at the position through 4 weeks? What do you think?
Oh, man. I still think Jalen Hurts is playing the best at the position, but Patrick Mahomes is flipping good, and I mean all puns there because that flip that he threw to Edwards-Helaire was incredible. And I'll say this, Rich, because I know we got to go.
No, sorry.
Mahomes and the Chiefs, they miss the explosiveness of Tyreek Hill, but they're harder to defend right now. They're spreading it out to everybody. And when they were in the playoffs and they won the Super Bowl in 2019, they had 100 yards rushing in every game in the playoffs. They know what they're doing. They are laying the groundwork for that late season run, and they ran the ball for 189 yards against a Bucs defense that wasn't giving up water to a well. So I think that they are by far harder to defend, even though they do miss Tyreek in certain instances. they're very multiple right now, and that's dangerous.
Well, I mean, you cleaned that up for my audience, Robert, because to your Twitter audience, 2 million plus, you tweeted out that the Chiefs are running through the Bucks faster than poop emoji ran through DK Metcalf. That was one of the many tweets you had Sunday that went viral. You cleaned that one up for me, Robert.
How about that? They need to get a portable bathroom on the sideline, man. We've been saying that for years, but yeah, the Chiefs are dangerous. If you can do that to a Bucs defense that many consider to be the best in the game, that's impressive. And the Bucs didn't help themselves early on with the turnovers, but at the end of the day, the Chiefs took it and took advantage of it. They're a very dangerous team right now.